Dangerous severe weather is expected across the United States over the next few days, and it will bring damaging winds, large to very large hail, and tornadoes, in addition to some locally torrential downpours, which could cause flash flooding. A major heat wave bringing record high temperatures to the desert southwest is forecast over the next several days, and the tropical weather update at the end of this video. If you are here, subscribe to the channel. We do daily weather forecast breakdowns, reliable, accurate weather information on this channel. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, especially if you enjoy it throughout, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. Definitely appreciate it. We have a slight risk of severe weather in two separate areas across the United States today. One from the southern portions of North Dakota through central South Dakota into northern Nebraska. Another one over here in southern Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, down into Virginia, and the central Carolinas, where scattered severe thunderstorms will be possible. In the dark green surrounding that is a marginal risk of severe weather. We also have a marginal risk up into Michigan, northwestern Ohio, and extreme northeastern Indiana, where isolated severe thunderstorms are possible in the dark green. The hazards are going to be as follows. Damaging winds should be the primary threat, especially up here into South Dakota, where we could be seeing wind gusts of 70, perhaps even 80 miles per hour in a spot or two. And that could down some tree branches, uproot trees, down power lines and power poles. Definitely watching out for that. 60 to 70 mile per hour winds also possible in yellow over here from southern Jersey into Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, into the central Carolinas as well. So be watching out for that. Destructive hailstones up to tennis ball size are possible into the central Dakotas as we go into this afternoon and this evening. So be mindful of that. And looking at a low but non-zero tornado threat in the green here across the central and western Dakotas. That is a 2% chance of tornadoes within a 25-mile radius of any given point in or around this area. And it's no surprise that we see this type of environment today for severe weather. A lot of surface-based instability. This is your storm energy. This is over 4, even 5,000 joules per kilogram. This is about as much storm energy as you can get for this time of year. And these storms that pop up this afternoon and evening will be able to utilize that storm energy and produce severe weather. So here at noon, things are quiet all across the Dakotas and into Nebraska. That will change as we go into the early but eventually mid-afternoon. So between 1 p.m. and 3 o'clock, we're going to start to see initiation of some thunderstorms across western South Dakota and into the Nebraska Panhandle and western Nebraska. Maybe a few storms in southwestern North Dakota as well. They will initially be supercells. They're going to be by themselves, and they could produce those damaging straight line winds up to 80 miles per hour. Tennis ball size hailstones and an isolated tornado. Eventually those storms will start to cluster up as they push into the eastern Dakotas and into eastern portions of Nebraska. Actually, some of these storms taking a run in northern Kansas as they drop further southeast overnight tonight into your early Thursday morning time frame. Locally heavy rainfall will accompany these storms as well, as there's a lot of moisture in the environment. These storms could be utilizing as well, so we could be seeing upwards to an inch of rain in a short amount of time across especially South Dakota, Nebraska, western Iowa, and northeastern Kansas with these clusters of storms through your Thursday morning commute. Now looking here at the east, plenty of instability over here in this slight risk across portions of the mid-Atlantic coast down into the southeast like the Carolinas. 3, even closing in on 4,000 joules per kilogram. Some strong instability, and again, these storms will utilize that as well. As we go into the afternoon, we're going to see a line of storms from Jersey and southeastern Pennsylvania through Maryland and Delaware, getting into central and eastern Virginia, getting into the central and eastern Carolinas, maybe some pop-up storms here down into Georgia and Florida as well. And any one of these storms could pose a risk for some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, some quarter-size hail perhaps, and a very low tornado risk. We're mainly looking at a wind threat here, followed by hail and then a tornado threat as we go into the evening hours. Eventually, by late this evening and overnight, those storms will be shifting off the coast and actually leading to a lessened severe weather threat as we get towards early Thursday morning. Also a lot of moisture over here, so these storms could be potentially producing locally torrential downpours, where we could be seeing some areas of 1 to as much as 3.5 inches of rain. And this could come down in a short amount of time. So flash flooding will be possible. Going into tomorrow on Thursday, July 10th, a lot of slight risks you see across the United States. One up here into North Dakota, northwest Minnesota. Another one in southern South Dakota, Nebraska, again, northeastern Colorado, and northwestern Kansas. And then into the central Carolinas, we have the potential of some scattered severe thunderstorms in yellow. In the dark green is where a marginal risk of severe weather is from the northeast down through the mid-Atlantic coast into the southeast and across the north central plains toward the Midwest there, like Iowa, northern Missouri. That's where isolated severe thunderstorms will be possible in dark green. Again, primary threats tomorrow will be damaging straight line winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour, followed by the threat for some hail. Again, the hail growth is a little bit limited because there is a little bit of some warm air aloft. Typically in the middle of summer, you see that, but we could still see some quarter to $half size hail and a low tornado risk. It's 2% there within a 25-mile radius of areas of western Nebraska, say the North Platte area, down there into northeastern Colorado. And so here we go, Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Ongoing storms from tonight going into your morning hours on Thursday. May need to pack an umbrella here if you're heading out to work or running any errands and say the Ames or Des Moines, Iowa area, up toward Waterloo there, and maybe Kansas City, as some ongoing showers and storms may be going on here in the 7 a.m. time frame. As we go through the morning hours, we're just going to have a couple rounds of some showers, some rumbles of thunder, nothing really severe until we hit the afternoon. That's where we're going to see a low pressure system develop off the Rockies. And that could push some stronger storms into Nebraska especially, but also into southern South Dakota, into Kansas, and then another push closer to that low pressure up there into North Dakota as well as we go into the evening hours. And some locally heavy rainfall will accompany these storms too, where we could be seeing maximized rainfall totals up to 3 inches there into Nebraska, into parts of South Dakota, perhaps into Iowa. Even some heavier storms earlier on in the day into northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin could get a surprise inch and a half of rain over there for like Rockford, Peoria, Princeton, Chicago, Madison, and Milwaukee. Something to keep an eye on for your Thursday. Going into the east on Thursday morning, got some showers around the Boston area, down there into Providence and into Hartford. Maybe some storms down into the Wilmington area, Norfolk into North Carolina as well, and maybe Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and up there toward Florence, Alabama too. Just maybe need an umbrella early in the morning, and then scattered popcorn type storms in the afternoon. Where they set up is uncertain, but where they do set up, we could be seeing damaging winds to 60 miles per hour in some storms, quarter-size hail, and a very low tornado risk, again less than 2% all across these areas. Locally torrential downpours though, with a lot of moisture is in place. Now, as we go into Friday, July 11th, you see the dark green here from the U.S.-Canadian border of Minnesota and up here in toward Wisconsin and Michigan, all the way back down here into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle into Colorado and New Mexico. So areas near Denver, Amarillo, Wichita, Kansas City, Des Moines, La Crosse, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, and all the way up toward Green Bay. We do have the potential for some isolated severe thunderstorms. Also a chance for some isolated strong storms over here into the mid-Atlantic as well. Washington, D.C., Pittsburgh, into the Richmond, Roanoke area, Raleigh, Asheville, and Durham, all the way down into Columbia as we go into Friday, where some isolated storms will be possible. Friday morning, again, may need an umbrella. Areas like Chicago, Peoria, Springfield, Illinois, into areas of Indianapolis. We have what we call an MCV. This is a mesoscale convective vortex. Kind of like a mini low pressure system from Thursday night into Friday morning, and this could spark additionally really strong storms potentially in the Midwest on Friday afternoon, peak heating for Iowa, for northern Missouri, and this could be a very powerful line of some damaging winds, heavy rainfall with some hail, and some isolated tornadoes potentially embedded. The duration of these storms, a little bit uncertain, but we could see them potentially moving into Illinois and Wisconsin overnight Friday into Saturday as a cold front comes through. We look at the east, maybe some pop-up storms over here, but the duration of those storms and intensity of those storms will be lower on Friday, lacking the wind shear. So that is what we are seeing as we go through Friday. Going through the weekend and into next week, we got a lot of disturbances rounding the ridge of high pressure that's anchored across the desert southwest, and you can see that flow in the jet stream a lot stronger where you see the greens and yellows up here. For example, in southern Canada, kind of grazing the northern United States as we go into next week before a cold front comes through around the middle of next week, giving us a little bit more wind shear. And there's going to be a lot of ample instability and storm energy to work with until that cold front comes through middle of next week by Wednesday, July 16th. So daily chances for showers and storms and severe weather. On Saturday, maybe some severe weather across the western Great Lakes down there into the Midwest and Ohio Valley. Sunday the 13th, maybe isolated stronger storms there in in the eastern United States, quieting down for the northern plains and upper Midwest. Very dry out west as well, I want to add. Going into Monday, more showers and storms for the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and Southeast, all the way down to Florida, isolated to scattered severe weather. Here comes another disturbance by Monday into Tuesday, bringing more severe weather along a cold front as it plows through a lot of the north-central United States like the Dakotas, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois, and getting into Michigan and Indiana and Ohio and Kentucky by the time we get into the middle of next week. Looking at our temperatures, very big ridge of high pressure actually anchored across the desert Southwest. Record highs in Phoenix today to 116, 125 perhaps in some areas of Death Valley. We're into the triple digits for Colorado, Wyoming, all the way up into Montana and the Western Plains. Some record highs are going to be broken there as well today. Going into Thursday, 90s across the southern plains, and that will continue to bring heat all the way up into the Ohio Valley toward 90 degrees by Friday. There's that cold front on Friday, bringing some cooler 70s and lower humidity at times, and then here we go. We warm right back up again to the 90s by the end of the weekend before yet another cold front comes through, bringing us right back into the 70s for the northern U.S. by the time we get to the middle of next week, Tuesday the 15th and Wednesday the 16th, with some lower humidity there as well. Not only just during the day we have to worry about the heat, but the relief is limited at night, especially down here in Phoenix, where we're going to see record warm lows in the low 90s and 91 here as we wake up on Thursday morning, and same thing on Friday morning, and just a touch cooler on Saturday morning there at 86 degrees. So it's going to be very warm the next few nights there in Las Vegas, Phoenix, San Diego, those types of areas. So make sure you stay hydrated, but look at those lows by Saturday to start the weekend there into the Dakotas, into the low and mid 50s. Crack open the windows, some nice cool air. We have some warmer nights coming up though early next week, right before another cold front brings our lows back down in the 50s across the upper Midwest, northern plains by the middle of next week. Let's look here at your fire weather risk for today. It is critical in red across eastern Nevada and western Utah, and orange is elevated surrounding that, also elevated fire weather risk in eastern Washington state. In the brown, dry thunderstorm risk in eastern and southeastern Oregon into southwestern Idaho, where some lightning could actually spark new wildfires as we go through the next 24 hours. Then as we go into Thursday, July 10th, elevated fire weather concerns really centered across the Four Corners region of Utah, parts of Colorado and northern Arizona and northwestern New Mexico, as new fires may begin to ignite there with the dry weather and with the dry fuels out there. Definitely watching out for that. In the tropical weather update, the National Hurricane Center over the next 7 days is not really worried about any tropical cyclone activity in the Atlantic Basin or the East Pacific Basin as well. So things are going to be very quiet in the tropics over the next week. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest accurate, reliable weather information daily. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, family member on social media. If you have any comments, questions, and concerns, make sure to jot that down in the comment section down below this video. We are here 24/7 to answer any and all questions that you may have. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday out there.